Good Monday morning, everybody. Today I'm going to make some applesauce that I can can. So I have my apple core. It's a core, peeler, everything so that I don't have to do the hard work. So I'll do one apple and show you how to do that. With the scraps, I'm almost out of apple cider vinegar. So I'm going to be putting the scraps in here so that at the end I can add water and sugar and then let it ferment and do its thing so I can start another batch of apple cider vinegar. I've got my pot here where I can put my apples in when they're done because this slices, cuts, and cores. So let me see if I can show you how this is done without making a big mess. Hang on. All right, so basically you stick the apple on there like that. You bring the apple up to the peeling area. And you can take off your stems if you want. I think I'll pop my stem off there. And this little peeler that's back here will peel it, and then this will go to where the core is. So you want to try to see if you can make sure you line those up. And then all we're going to do is I'm going to hang onto this board. And boom. So here's my peelings right here. They're going to go straight into the jar. Here's my apples. I'm going to pull them off. I got to get a mat there or something. I'm going to finish pushing that through and go all the way through. And then I just pull this back and just pop that through, and there's my core. So I've got about 30, and I'm going to put that in here too. Cores and peelings, everything goes in here. These all go in here in my pot. And then I need to get some fruit fresh so they don't turn brown, although it doesn't really matter because they're going to be applesauce anyway. So let me work on getting these apples done, and then we'll do the next stage of the applesauce. Okay, we're back here, and I have cored and sliced and peeled with my peeler 18 pounds of apples. So hang on. Okay, so my apples are still boiling, but I wanted to show you guys a food mill. And you can use an immersion blender if you want. I have this food mill because I still have a few peels that were left on there, which is fine, not a big deal. But this is something you use to help get some of those softened peels away from the food. It's called a food mill. So it has this little insert here that goes in the bottom that has holes in it. And you just stick it in there like that, and you have a press. And it's got a little hole in the bottom that I got to line up. And then you just lock it in there like that. And then what will happen is I'm going to put the apples in here, and then I'm going to turn this, and it's going to push the softened apples through, and it's going to not only puree it for me already, it's going to get some of those excess skins, or if I missed a seed or anything like that, they'll drop into here. And so this is my food mill that I'm going to be using once that's done. We're going to let that finish probably another 15 minutes on the oven. They're really starting to go down. There's no sugar in this yet, okay, because we're going to let this happen, food mill it. We put it back in the pan, and that's when you add your sugar and cinnamon if that's what you want to put in there. And I'm just going to do sugar. I like cinnamon in mine. I might put some cinnamon in half of it after I get ready to process it in my water bath or my canning machine, my pressure cook canner. So we'll get back to that, and we'll talk to you in a little bit. Okay, guys, we are back. Hang on, I'm trying to get this adjusted here because I guess that's as small as it's going to get. So I have my food mill over a bowl, and it just hooks onto the side. So the next thing I'm going to do, I have my apples here that are super soft, and I'm just going to take a scoop, and they're still steaming, and that's okay. They've just cooled down quite a bit. And I'm just going to put this into the food mill, and then all you do is I'm going to turn this food mill down. I'll bring it up so you can see it, and it just comes underneath of it. Okay, so you just keep pushing that down, flattening it down until you go through all your applesauce, and that will take away some extra peels if you don't want it. You don't have to do it this way. You can use a blender. You could use a potato masher. If you like your applesauce chunky, just kind of like cut it up real good and then just kind of smash it up a little bit. But I'm going to food mill mine, and I'll come back to you. Okay, guys, so I'm done with my food mill, and there's some in there, and that's okay because there's a lot more seeds in there than what I thought. That's why I did the food mill, so you don't have seeds in your things. So I've already poured some back into the pot because we're gonna heat it up again, and that's where you would add or not add your sugar. So I have 24 cups of applesauce in here right now, and this is about 8 cups. So we're gonna have 32 cups of applesauce, which would be 8 quarts, or 8 times 2, or it'd be 16 pints. I'm probably going to do some pints and some quarts. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. I've got the pints right now in the oven heating up to 200, so they'll be hot when this gets hot. So to take this out, I just push the spring and bring this out, and the bottom just pops right up. And there's some seeds that are in there. You can't really see them really well, but they're in there. So and that's what that thing caught. So this is gonna go in my compost. We're good to go, or I'll give it to my chickens. The seeds in there's not enough in there that's gonna do any harm. But anyway, so on to the next phase. Just a second. Now we're gonna put this back on the stove, and the consistency I'm gonna show you is applesauce. So if you like this texture and you don't think there's a lot of moisture in here for you, then you're going to, there was one left seed in there. You can can it right at this. Some apples have different flavors. To me, this is good. I might want it a little bit sweeter. I'm not going to put a ton of sugar in here. I might put in maybe half a cup, and I'll taste it and see what it tastes like. And we're going to get this boiling up again to about 212, and then we're going to put it in the jars. I forgot to mention, you can use like a lower sugar rate, like coconut sugar, monk fruit sugar, if you want something that's not straight sugar and a little bit better. This is sweet anyway. It has natural sugar, natural fructose in it, so it's going to have sugar in it already. So it's kind of entirely up to you. Okay, so I've got my jars out. I have my applesauce off the oven. It's the texture and the sweetness I want it. So now we are going to fill our pints. We're going to start with pints. We're going to fill them with a 1/2 inch headspace so you have room for expansion. And the 1/2 inch headspace is just to the bottom of the ring here. That might be an inch. Hang on. Okay, it's this first ring right here. Sorry, on the edge. So I got to bring it up a little bit more. Okay, and just like everything, we are going to put our lids on, and I've wiped the rims already. You can wipe limbs with a little bit of vinegar if you want, but you don't have to. Water will be fine. And we're going to get the lids on, and then we're going to put the rims on, finger tight. Now you can water bath these, which you'd have to cover them all the way up with water with 1/2 inch or an inch over. Or you can pressure can them. You don't have to pressure can these because there's acidity in them. But I'm going to pressure can them just because I have my pressure can out, which can do both. But we're going to do that for 15 minutes. Okay? So getting all the lids on, get them in, and in 15 minutes, I'll get it in the pressure canner now. We'll see what it looks like when they're done. Okay, I had to step away for a bit, but my applesauce is done. I'm going to show it to you. There we go. There is my completed applesauce. I have another set in there doing its thing. To me, it looks great. No extra cinnamon. It's sealed. Wonderful. So I have 7 pints of applesauce here. I have 3 quarts in there, and I have another pint in there doing one more set. So here we go. Applesauce is done.